An unexpected incident that shocked the whole world happened on 9/11 and caused a lot of uproar due to that tragic occurrence where plenty can't precisely identify the truth of what happened in the Pentagon. It remains a mystery to people whether it was the said military missile or a plane that smashed into the Pentagon. Today, we will be talking about Pentagon conspiracies you need to know, so remain here with us because you don't want to miss this. But before we dive into this intriguing topic, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel with notifications on. First, fabricated calls. A case was mentioned that some so-called passengers on that very flight made phone calls that their plane had been hijacked. But did you know that those calls were fabricated by voice morphing and the bodies found on the crash site were only disposed to make it look like it was indeed a plane crash and not a missile fired at the Pentagon? Next up, not a plane crash, but a missile hit. There was never enough evidence that made it look like it was a plane crash. Even the presented video coverage and photos from the crash site could not validate the testimony. Therefore, with this proposition cited that it was a plane crash, they didn't necessarily look at it because at the look of things, the damage was not that enormous compared to a plane crash damage, and not just any plane, an American Airlines Flight 77, which still warrants the argument that it was a missile. Another is, why a small hole for a big plane? It was said that a simulation confirmed the claim on the hole made by the plane, the ASCE, but with the coverage available, there were two visible holes in the Pentagon, one which was at the exterior wall of the building and the other at the middle ring of the Pentagon known as the Ring C after the attack. Having a plane as big as that size could only create a much bigger hole, but the case is different here. From the width to the length, it's just not a match for that visible hole we are all seeing. And also, the windows are unscathed. Another shocking Pentagon conspiracy you need to know is the sight of unscathed and steady windows at the crash site. We discovered from coverage where windows near the impact seem undisturbed and intact. Yes, close to the point of the crash, like it was never hit with any pressure. How can a plane so enormous crashing down with force not shatter those windows that it collided with? This is indeed shocking. Following is residuals from the crashed plane. If there were no plane crash residues found on the scene, then what happened to the Pentagon? Because there are claims from few sources that in reality, an American Airlines Plane 77 was never found. The military were halted by the government even with their knowledge of the incident. Even with the government's awareness of the plane that was hijacked, they chose not to intervene with their action of not commanding the military to help recover the plane. They are more than capable of getting the plane and avoiding all this disaster, but it looks like they're interested in that scheme, folding their arms to let the deed be done, and that cannot be questioned. We all know that the American government has the best air force in the world, so are they scared? But why? An answer we will never get to know. It is just obvious that the government wanted this to happen for a reason that is best known to them. Next, we have traders acted like they know nothing. There was plenty of cashing in for insider traders after the incident. But how? Though this was claimed by theorists, there was an outstanding opportunity for them. They knew that investment pays off with liquidation of stocks or when the stock price drops, so it was placed on the stock of two airlines a day before the incident, and this happened to be the same airline that was hijacked. While some were in pain, traders were smiling at their account balance. Then we come to purposely act from the government. It was also stated that key individuals within the government made the coup and put the blame on a renowned terrorist, Al-Qaeda, for pulling it off. In addition, recruitment effort in the CIA was hidden. Two powerful government heads gave an order that made the agency hide the data and information about Nawal al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar to cover up their recruitment program so as not to be noticed by the rest of the government. They are Richard Clarke and George Tenet. There was even an incident where George Tenet denied that he had anything to do with Nawal al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar recruitment, withholding in a statement, and Clarke supporting him, saying he has no proof. Again, we have statements, tapes from bin Laden. Bin Laden has denied every accusation brought against him by the American government. They blame him mostly for most of the incidents relating to this, and he said in quotes, "The US government has consistently blamed me for being behind every occasion its enemies attack it. I would like to assure the world that I didn't plan the recent attacks, which seems to have been planned by people for personal reasons." Following the report from Wikipedia in a tape called Jalalabad audio tape released in December 2001, the spokesperson allegedly knew about the attack in advance. The CIA claimed that the tape was probably Osama bin Laden's. Some observers, especially those in the Muslim world, doubt the authenticity of the tape. On December 20th, 2001, the German TV channel Das Erste aired an analysis of the translation of the videotape produced by the White House. In the Monitor project, two freelance translators and an Oriental research expert found that the White House translation was both inaccurate and manipulative, and said, in the most important place to prove Osama bin Laden's guilt, no, it's completely incompatible with Arabic. Same. And the words used to express prior knowledge cannot be heard at all in the original text. Professor Gurno Rotter, professor of Islamic and Arab Studies at the Institute of Asian African Studies at the University of Hamburg, said, American translators who have listened to and transcribed transcribed tapes obviously wrote a lot of things they want to hear, but no matter how many times you listen to them, the tapes, some members of the 9/11 Truth Scholars organization believe that the man in the video was not Osama bin Laden at all, citing differences in weight and facial features, as well as gold rings that are prohibited by Muslim law. Even if bin Laden is left-handed, he writes with his right hand. In the audio tape released in November 2007, bin Laden claimed responsibility for the attack and denied that the Taliban and the Afghan government or people had prior knowledge of the attack. In an interview with Al Jazeera, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Ramzi bin Hib, the two alleged masterminds of the Al-Qaeda attack, also admitted that they were involved in the attack. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leaving a comment makes it even more purposeful. Counterfact that tackles this various testimony. On the holes found in the Pentagon, ASCE states that the exterior facade of the Pentagon building collapsed after about a quarter of an hour based on the real hole that was supposedly created on the number of first-floor support columns that got demolished. It was tested using simulation and confirmed. On the imparted window due to the crash, the windows were indeed smashed due to the force from the plane crash, and some were intact and unscathed. These windows were initially designed to handle hard impact. They possess strong resistance to high and strong collisions. Therefore, we shouldn't be surprised if these windows perform their functions. Although their design doesn't include how to receive racking seismic forces, that's why from the coverage, few windows were banged out of the wall. Regarding the found residue on crash site, the founder of KCE was also present. Alan E. Kilsheimer, a blasting expert, spotted the print on the floor of that of a crashing plane. He said, "I saw the marks of the plane wing on the face of the building. I picked up part of the plane with airline markings on them. I held in my hand the tail section of the plane, and I found the black box." He also added that he saw a torn part of a crew member's uniform, including a shredded part of a human body. On-camera coverage that monitors the incident. Surveillance cameras outside the building owned by the Pentagon indeed captured the falling plane. Though it wasn't visible enough as it exploded immediately when it landed, the public was later given access to all footage from that incident around the building. Could this be a conspiracy of some sort? What do you think? Do you think the Pentagon has some deepest, darkest secrets the world doesn't know about? Or is there a conspiracy going on that nobody is aware of? Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and hit that bell icon so you will get notified when we upload a new video. While you're at it, you may as well subscribe to the channel. We'll see you back soon for the next video.